Hey everyone, welcome to another video about Raid Shadow Legends, and today I have for you my Tholin build. It helped me so much to progress fast. I strongly recommend to focus on this guy. And before we start, if you never played Raid before, don't forget to use the link down below to get the best start ever. And thank you Raid for sponsoring this video. Now, I know, the gear, everything else, not perfect, as perfect takes forever, so it will not be perfect for quite a while. Not be perfect for quite a while. Maybe before I go over the build and everything I have so far maxed out and my choices, let me show you why it's so important to have this champion. So I can go to the highest difficulty, stage 6x6, so that's the stage that drops as speed boots. It's a good one to farm, as sometimes those boots may be very useful, and it gives a lot of experience for my champions, plus a good drops possible, champion drops outside of the gear. Nightmare is the highest difficulty, and what I'm able to do is just use Tholin to very fast carry some champions I need to level up. Oh, and there's side random trick. Don't change champions on this screen if you want to level them up. Go through the team setup. That's what I'm doing. And I have it saved. So always proper skills are being used by Tholin. So Tholin is here and I'm switching other champions. If I would switch them on the main screen, the Tholin skills would reset and he will be using a default order, which is not very fast and effective. So I can just go for some champions, I level up, then I can rank them up, use them as chickens later on. So let's slot those free. I didn't tick the box. Yep, that's how we need to select it, tick the box. And look at that now. Of course, full auto. We don't want to manually do anything, and look how fast it goes with Tholin upgraded. Look at that. Like destroying all those guys with all those upgrades. His damage is incredible, and with all this life leech setup, on other stages he can tank a lot. He can tank a lot. Or max out, now the build. So what do I have? Starting with the gear. It's a mixture of 2 speed pieces. I was focusing on decent amount of speed, but main focus of course is crit rate, crit damage. Not everything has it, but I managed to get a lot of gear with those effects. It would be better if that would be attack percentage, but I have flat. The important ones I have, this should be speed, but I have attack. I didn't have speed boots back then with crit damage, crit rate, so I went with attack, which is still good. It is still good as my total speed is 145. I want to improve it. I'm aiming for something closer to 200, but that will take time. Like upgrading gear to level 16 is so expensive. Then the lifesteal set, I do plan to a little bit later replace with way better set, which is Bloodthirst. So that's the set that in addition to healing, so in addition to lifesteal, will provide crit rate bonus. So it's a better set, but that requires a lot of crafting in the forge. As you can see, it's far from being done. I need to farm way more to get this set. So for now, I do have a regular lifesteal set, so only 30% healing and no extra crit rate. So crit rate at this moment, it's almost 75%, which is already decent. It needs to be a little bit higher. So some work in progress in regards to stats. But I do have crit damage on this piece of gear and crit rate. Then on the shield, crit damage and speed and crit rate. So that's the focus. That's how Tholin is doing so much damage. Then unfortunately, on the gauntlets, there is defense as primary stat. It will be replaced, but I was unlucky to get better. The plus side of the defense With the lifesteal, it's not the worst combo, so I have relatively high defense. Tholin can tank a little bit more and heal it back up. Not the end of the world. Not perfect, unfortunately. High crit rate, 16%. Some speed. Generally, gloves, not very good, but I think I will replace them later on when my Bloodthirst set will be ready. Then Chestplate is good. Even more attack. More crit rate. Not perfect, but at least I have the primary stat as I wanted. About the accessories, that was nightmare to get. They were not dropping. I was getting every single other type, every single other class, not dwarves. So dwarves took me forever, but I got decent accessories and I upgraded it. I'm so happy. Amulet is crit damage. Double. So crit damage on both those stats. And accuracy banner. Which you could argue not accuracy not the best for Tholin, but it is decent as his main skill provides weakness, like apply weakness, so it's good. Unholy Grail is that what I have and what I got early, and I was trying to craft some more relics. So far, no luck, so the Grail it is. And the Stone, Termita increase effects, more effective on the wearers. Something. All maxed out. I managed to get all his skills maxed out. So the damage is there. Debuff chance is good. So the weekend debuff. Damage cooldowns reduced. And the most important part then, masteries. Masteries, of course, offensive. Let's go from the best one. So I was testing here and comparing. Then I figured out that if you test yourself, you pay diamonds to keep resetting the tree. So I limited the testing a little bit. But I figured out Helm Smasher is stronger for Tholin than War Master. As I was initially wanting to use War Master, but after testing, it's rarely outperformed. Only on the highest health enemies. So not worth it. The Helm Smasher way better. Then I do have Kill Streak. Very good. Damage inflicted 6% in arena and siege battles, and I'm using him for arena. 3% in all other locations for each enemy killed by this champion. And that's my main DPS damage champion, so it's getting those kills. Methodical increases the damage inflicted by this champion default skill 2% each time it is used, and I'm using it a lot, so yes, that's amazing. Like, default skill of Tholin is very powerful, so this is incredibly good. Then bring it down. Damage inflicted increased by 6% when attacking target with higher max health, and most of the targets has higher max health. Single out, increased damage to targets with less than 40% health, so that's like a finisher. Cycle of Violence, 30% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random skill by 1 turn if the damage inflicted by a skill exceeds 30% of the target's max health. And that's quite often the case. So that's triggering a lot. Then Whirlwind of Death. Increase speed by 6 for each enemy killed by this champion. So we're quickly getting extra 18 in most case scenario. So the speed is going up. The speed is going up, and then it will most likely stack. I have no way to verify, but it will most likely start with a speed gear that's a percentage increase. Crit damage. Damage increase when attacking with full health and with a lifesteal set. Tholin is very often at full health, so damage increase kicks in a lot. I didn't use Life Drinker, as that's not really needed if I'm already running a lifesteal set. And starter is crit rate. Defense buff. Any help is good, so extra defense. Decreased damage from AoE attacks. That's usually what's hitting him. 50% chance to remove one random debuff from this champion when they lose 20% of their max health or more from a single enemy skill, and that is happening quite a lot. So losing 25% health because Tholin does not have as much is happening quite a lot. But then we heal back up. Delay Death. Reduce the damage this champion received from a specific enemy by small percentage, but stacking up to 6% per this enemy every time they attack. So this is very good for boss fights. This stacks up, and the 6% is noticeable. And lastly, the powerhouse, Retribution. 50% chance to counterattack when this champion loses 25% of their max health or more from a single enemy skill. Again, that's what I already said, happening a lot. So this is kicking in. This is kicking in a lot. So that's the masteries. I don't know if it's possible to do better. Let me know. But from my testing and investigation and math I did around it, that's incredibly powerful for Tholin. It's not awakened yet. Unfortunately, I am in no luck. I want to awaken it. I even spent money if you were watching my previous videos, and no luck with Tholin awakening. So that's not the part of the build just yet. Eventually. I will probably get it eventually, but not yet. In no luck with this Soul Merchant or Altar. There's like never a Tholin Soul. I don't know why. I'm checking it every time. Checking it every time, and it's never in there. And that being said, that's everything I have for you in this video. Thank you a lot for watching. Thank you, Raid, for sponsoring it, and see you all in the next one.